Hey up, I'll do, and welcome to feature 4 here of Loose Lips. I'm just gonna pin this bad boy here and then we'll get stuck into today's chats. Perfect. So, as I say, this is feature 4, this is series 2, this is Loose Lips. I'm Ben Random, and we've got an incredible selection of people to speak with today. If you're new to Loose Lips, it was created during the lockdown to speak with people from all across the planet, different walks of life, looking to have a bit of engagement with their life. And right now we've got Kylie who's come to the group, so we'll be catching up with her. We've also got Waff, superstar DJ, and then we'll also be speaking with Leon from Too Many Teas and also DJ J Cardi. But right now, I'll select Kylie. Would you join us? It's always the suspense. It's always the suspense. Ooh. Let's see, 1 second. Not been able to join yet. See if you can send it through again, Kylie. It won't connecting. We will get through this. Technology will unite. Also, anyone who's in the chat, it requested, yeah, Kylie, it requested, but when I accepted it, it won't connect in. So if you're able to resend it again, and then I'll look to reconnect it again, it's all good. We can get this. We've got this. And likewise, anybody that's in the chat, if you've got any questions that you want to put out throughout, feel free to, and I'll look to obviously involve them in the conversation. Here we go. Drum roll.
Hiya.
Yes. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah, no worries. I'm so glad that you asked.
No, it's mad because I've been following you on Insta for a bit, and I saw you like do your whole Miss Australia thing. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like it's something as a male you never like. It's something that's so alien, the whole process. It's something that I'd never get to like understand or see. So I was like, I'd really like to understand a bit more about that world.
Yeah, well, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have, for sure. It's really weird to me anyway. It was my first pageant.
How did it come about? How did were it friends or family who put you forward for it?
Yeah, so I originally started doing a modeling competition for a club in my city called Sin City, and then it kind of just went from, well, if I could do that, maybe I can try some other things. And I saw that a friend from high school had signed up for the Miss World competition. I was like, yeah, I could try that. Like, why not?
Yeah, that's fair. I love that spirit, but even just that Miss World title, it's just like, what? It's like it's huge.
It's actually incredible. Like, I really was not expecting to make it even past the entry point, and to even be accepted into the competition itself was just an honor. So I felt like I had to continue with it. It was just an incredible opportunity.
Well, that's it. It's the opportunity, and it's to see how far you go. And it's just, yeah. I mean, what's the world like within these pageants?
Oh, you know what? I was really expecting it to be just a horrible place where like girls would be screaming and crying and just absolutely horrible people. But they were some of the loveliest bunch that I have ever met. The amount of like community, like even after the competition, we still keep in touch. Like it's lovely. Like when there's actually a girl that's just joined, Wendy Wu. She was the most lovely person. She's done like a couple of pageants before, and she taught me how to walk and what to say and stuff like while I was there for the day, because they only let you like rehearse on the day. So it's like it's so much tension, but like the other girls there are also nervous, so that they make you like feel like normal. Oh, this is human to feel kind of scared, and that like it's okay.
Yeah, because it must be quite daunting because obviously you've got the other women there, but you've got the judges, you've got the competition side, but then at the same time, you sort of just want to get on with people as well, and like almost take the competition away from it.
Absolutely. I mean, I did not go there with the intention of even making it past the first round. My intention was to make friends with the people there because I just wanted to know more about the world that they were doing. I know that my intention was to get into modeling more than it was into pageants itself, and I know that it's kind of like a thin line between the two. So it was kind of like you get into one thing, maybe they'll know something about the other thing. It just seemed like a good opportunity to network for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and good exposure as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Everything kind of kicked off after Miss Worlds. I've definitely had like a way more opportunity to do the things that I want to do in life, and it's just been incredible.
So what, like, talk us through like the process of a day then, like when you're actually there, like when you go in. All I've got in my head is, have you seen Little Miss Sunshine?
Yeah.
So I know it's not the same sort of pageant, but that's all I've got in my head is like those sort of pageants. So I can't like distinguish the two. So what would the day be like?
The process is kind of similar. So first of all, they stick you in a room full of all the other contestants. So you have to kind of just be like, oh, hi.
And
my name's Kylie.
How many?
It was about 50 when I think it's about 50 girls in the first round, and then I think it's about 35 to 40 in the next round.
So
that's
for room that's just full of 50 beautiful women.
Gorgeous, like talented, like just absolutely incredible women. It's a hard room to be in too, because they're just so lovely and so like viciously lovely that you're like, I don't deserve to be here.
So you sign up, you go through, you've got your 50, and then what different like tasks or rounds are there?
Okay, so I can run you through the process. So basically you start with the round of, you meet everyone, you say hello, they kind of leave you there for a little bit because they're organising stuff. And then the organiser, her name was Chelsea, she was a lovely woman. She came in with her 2 helpers and explained to us what we were going to be doing throughout the day. So the rehearsal started with, they take you to the next room over, because the room that you're sitting in is like the one that you get ready in. And then they take you to the next room where you'll be actually competing in the pageant, and they walk you down the runway and then back up the runway, and they say, okay, here's the order we're going to go in. We're going to be doing cocktail dresses first, and then we'll be doing, I think it was introductions. And then after that it was, I should have written this down. After introductions, you go do your walk for the cocktail, so you have to walk up and down, and then they do evening gown wear, which is where you have to walk in your evening gown. It's like a bit of a slower walk compared to the cocktail. It's more of your own style, I suppose. And then after that, they do a Q&A, which is the most terrifying thing of my life. They were like, oh, it'll be easy questions, nothing to do with anything. And then like you get hit with certain things. You're like, I don't know what to say. And you have 30 seconds to answer. And they're like, keep it short, keep it snappy, keep it like interesting. And I ended my question with like, yeah.
And then
like, thank you, bye.
And then just fresh air, just straight with the fresh air, just like breathing.
Oh man, like I was so done with it being over. Like by like about, because it took all day. I was there from 9 in the morning until about 5 p.m. and it was just, my feet were the worst part of it. Like the heels that you have to wear, I did not pick a good pair because my feet were killing me. And like, there's this photo of all of the pageant girls somewhere, like after the judgment and everything, where all like the 15 got picked to go through the next round. We're just sitting on the ground, like around on the ground. Our feet are just in the air because it hurt too much to put them down. It was by far the best part as well, though.
And then, so you find out on the actual day as well?
Oh yeah, you find out like within the hour. So like once you've done your Q&A, they do one more walk and then that's it. You find out immediately after that.
And then what were the next steps going to be prior to lockdown?
Yeah, so before lockdown, they had a date of June 15th for the next round, which would have been the Queensland finals. So they do these by states. So we have like, I think it's like 7 or 8, I don't know, states and territories in Australia. So we do like the finals for each state, and then you go to nationals, which is kind of like, I think, the step before for Miss Australia. So I think I'm on like level 2, I think, as far as it goes.
Which is class.
Not that far up.
It's more of a level up than me. That's class.
Thank you. It's definitely like an interesting process. It's not something that I ever expected to be in.
One thing that sort of comes to it is the tradition that's steeped in these kind of shows. I wonder as well, you know, as we sort of move to a more of a equality in society, have the traditions moved along with the times as well? Did it feel quite current and relevant and up to date?
Definitely. The level of diversity and inclusivity was much higher than I was expecting, especially with who I had seen in the past. Of like, it was just, you know, how you look at it and you're like, it's going to be all white girls for sure. But there was plenty of like girls that were absolutely dead set gorgeous that you just would not expect to have been in that kind of like place. And I'm so glad that they kind of push for that as well, because Australia is such a multicultural country that if that wasn't represented in our part of the Miss Worlds, I would be disappointed myself.
That's amazing. That's good to hear that. I mean, what is it like your part of Australia? Because I've been to Australia last year. I was on a comedy tour. So I went to Melbourne and I did Sydney. And like Melbourne stole my heart. Like I could definitely see me like chilling there. But then a few people was bigging up like Brisbane and that side of the world. So like, yeah, what's it like out there?
I'm not a fan of Brisbane. I don't like Brisbane at all. I think it's the most like unpleasingly aesthetic like kind of state capital in Australia. Melbourne, by far the best. Absolutely. For the art culture itself, incredible. I absolutely love it. But Gold Coast is absolutely incredible. I've been born and raised here my entire life. There's nothing better. You couldn't beat it.
And then so when did you look to get into the modelling? Was it like looking at the landscape of what you're around thinking, I could have some beautiful shots here, some portraits in the wilderness?
I think it started with my need to be creative. I really do just love art in all its forms, and like I started drawing when I was a kid, and like started taking photos upon photos. And well, my sister is actually the mastermind of this. My sister Megan, she's pretty much my Kris Jenner to my Kim. Like, you know, she's my manager, she's my assistant. She helps me out. She comes to me with every photo shoot just to make sure that I'm okay, and I'm so happy that she does, because it's so much more nerve-wracking than you would think it would be. But to answer your question, I kind of only really got into it very recently. Like, I didn't think it was something that I would be able to do. I think it all started in about August of last year, because I signed up for a modelling competition to get free alcohol from from the thanks, Portia. Sorry, I just saw a comment that she made. But yeah, so I signed up to get free alcohol, and I won $1,100 worth of drink vouchers. Yeah, it was enough to it was definitely enough to like get through the rest of the year. And then I ended up getting a job out of that, and then like I met a couple of people who were higher up in that business, and they were like, hey, do you want to come work as a bartender at this place, which was for the Sexpo convention after party, which was incredible in itself. And then from there, I just thought I gained a lot of confidence from just doing those things, and then I just thought, why not more? How far can I take it?
Yeah, I'm sure what you probably got to see at the Sexpo after party can definitely open your horizons.
That was an adventure in itself. I got to meet a dude named Churdsley's. His actual name's Chad. That's all I know him by.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's like a famous YouTuber or something like that. Him and Anything for Views, which is like an Australian YouTuber. They were really cool. But yeah, so like it's just that party itself. Like they spent 100 grand or something in one night, and there was a jet ski in the pool. They did a backflip on it. I can't even begin to tell you about what happened at that party. It was insane.
So the reason how I got onto you was through that. It must have been through that, because you was at the party, and did you throw like a giant penis like on the bar in slow motion? You punched
okay,
it.
no. Okay. I'm glad that you did kind of ask about that, because I have to clear this up. So when I arrived, because all the models arrived on a bus, I'm called a promo girl. That was my job. Well, I was actually a bartender that night, but I was called a promo girl. So I arrived off the bus, and like they don't really give you much to do at the start because they're still kind of getting organized. It was like 6 p.m. or something. And through this window of this massive mansion, I just see this massive dong just slightly moving in the wind, and I tell my friend, I'm like, I have to go punch that. I have to go punch it. I had no idea who anyone was or in the place, and I ran out inside and I talked to a few people. I was like, hi, how's it going? Can I punch that? And he was like, sure, can I film it? And that turned out to be Chad.
No, that is class. Yeah, he's a huge like YouTuber, and also Instagram. He puts his videos on here. Like there's a proper good crew of them out in the States. The funny guys.
Yeah.
So
you definitely.
So yeah, so it's quite new to you then. I mean, did you have any like any precautions when you were stepping into it? You know, into the world of modelling. And is that one of the reasons why you've got your sister as well involved that makes it a bit more secure?
Literally so many. It's always, you got to tell your friends where you're going and what time you're going and who the person you're contacting with. There's so many precautions that we have to put in place just to make sure that we're safe. Like, it's definitely hard. My sister makes it a lot easier. She's a little bit older than me, so she knows a little bit more, and she's definitely been watching this industry a lot longer than I have, so she knew a couple things before I even became interested. My friends are always looking out for you, so they're always like, when are you coming home? What are you doing? Like, when are you done? And like, there's not much room for error in case something does happen. But I haven't had a terrible experience yet. I've had like a couple of things that have made me definitely uncomfortable, but there's definitely like the point where you have to step in and say, hey, this is not something that I like. I think, can we take a step back and maybe just talk about what's going on?
That's cool. I mean, I think there's a maturity that's coming out of you, but it's a shame that you have to be put in those situations as well. But I think if you have that maturity around you to speak up, then at least it sets the tone, even though a tone shouldn't be set.
Yeah, it's definitely like a downside to the entire thing that we have. But as a woman, you kind of have to already deal with these things in your life. Like, especially when I turned 18 and I started going clubbing, the first thing that people told me was, do not put your drink down. Do not go home alone. Make sure that somebody knows these things. These are all things that are inbred into us that we already completely know. So it's already steps that we take, you know?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, when I speak with a lot of my friends who are lassies, they tell me like just situations that men don't really appreciate, because we just sort of just say like walking from a train station at like 11:30 at night, and it's just like, oh, make sure my phone's in my pocket. That's it. Whereas lassies are like, you know, on alert, and it's like it's mad. It's mad. It is mad. I mean, do you find is there a lot of pressure in your appearance on Instagram as well? And how does the world of social media play a role?
Oh, that one's a hard one. So I think there's definitely like I've put myself to a standard where I can't kind of drop below, and I always feel like a pressure to always do better than what I have already done, and it's kind of hard, especially from a creative standpoint, because like, what's better? It's objective, you know. Like, I feel the same, I feel better than I have in months, doesn't mean that I'm wearing makeup all the time or that I'm doing these fantastic things. It's just that I'm doing better for myself, you know.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel off the back of that then that, you know, you've got your professional shots which are on there? Do you feel like you have to just be posting your professional shots then, rather than just a bit of downtime?
So I actually, the ones that my sister I post ones that my sister takes pretty much in between each of the professional shots, just so I can keep it as my own kind of thing. But I can definitely say that I've seen a change in my own Instagram of how what I think is appropriate to post and what I want to put forward, because I want to be getting bigger and bigger and better and more exposure. And I feel like if I don't, I'll plateau, and
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah, it's a lot. It's but also like that's what if that's what I want to like move in the direction of, then that's kind of the downfall of what I have to deal with.
I appreciate that. And I'd say your sister's good at snaps then, because I didn't realise they weren't the professional ones. I thought they were just like all the same bulk.
Anyone that's pretty much not tagged with a photographer or a stylist or something is my sister taking the photo. She's absolutely incredible.
That's incredible. It does sound that. I mean, I tell you, because I think from afar, I think Instagram, what it's cool for as well, is adding your personality into it. And I do think your personality does come through with certain like poses that you do take. But I remember ones when you put like your outtakes in, when it was like you know, a slide of the ones where it was a bit, this is what happens. But and I think even stuff like that, just a bit personality, I think, you know, it stands you out from the rest.
I definitely try to keep it real. If that's, yeah, I look, I, out of the 5 or 6 that I post for each kind of set or whatever, there's about a dozen where I look like I'm about to sneeze, or like I'm doing something really goofy, or like there's something else. And like for a while, I did stop posting them, and it kind of made me sad because like those are my favorite photos, and like that's kind of like what keeps you real and what keeps you humble.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think those are included as well. I think it just sets you apart. Another addition to what you're already putting out there. Like, what do you think about when you're having your photo shoots? Is there certain like places in your mind where you go to, or are you just thinking in the moment like the craziest things like, oh, I need to watch that on Netflix. New Girl's just come out, and you know, like, what do you think about?
Oh, well, first of all, I do all my own makeup. I haven't like I don't get anyone to do that in my hair, but I'm really kind of terrible at hair. So like a lot of my creativity comes out through my hair, and like the influences around me definitely like push towards what I want to do for that photo shoot. If I have a certain idea, that's what kind of like I want to move towards. Um, but sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought.
No, that's probably what you do when you. That's probably the best answer. So what you do when you
Yeah,
pause is you just lose your trail of thought, and just people catch you. Just sorry, I've lost my thought. There, we've got it. We've got the photo. We're done.
pretty much exactly what it, and then you just kind of get into a zone where you just kind of like, okay, now I got it, I can do it now, like, you know, kind of thing. But one thing that is said to me kind of like often is don't let your face go dead. So I'll be like thinking so hard about what I want to do, and then immediately my face just drops and I go to just dead face. I just
What does dead face mean? Just like no
it's
expression.
just, yeah. So it's just like all the entire time through like hundreds of photos, because I'm thinking so much about what I want to be like posed as that it's just I'm not even thinking about what's going on at my face.
That's funny. I suppose one thing I want to ask is like, and I ask a few people this is like, do you see yourself doing a vlog or anything like that? Something that complements like the other, you know, the still and the visual.
Yeah, there's another Miss World's competitor named Tiana J. She's got 22,000 followers or something like that on Instagram, and she also has like a really successful YouTube channel. I don't think I could do that. Like, I would absolutely love to, but the amount of time and dedication that goes into those things, and I just don't have the skill either. Like, I don't know how to edit videos. I can do photos like a boss, but like when it comes to videos, I have no idea. Also, it kind of comes down to like, do you feel like you have something important to say? And like, I don't know if what I have to say is more important than the person next to me. I'd rather listen for a while.
That's deep. That's a solid bar. Is that I prefer? I think that's where some people go wrong, like not wanting to listen as much.
Well, I very much know that I'm at the beginning of my journey and that I would really love to just learn for a while and just kind of pick up from the world around me rather than try and push my own agenda, you know. I don't have an opinion yet. How can I know anything?
That's so cool. That's such a cool outlook. That's such a grounded, cool outlook to have just in life in general. Is there anyone that you look up to or anybody that you like their style and how they go about shoots?
Oh, Wendy Wu again. She's incredible. I think about her constantly. She just blew me out of the water when I met her at Miss World, and then also my sister, of course, because like she's just a style icon for starters. I can't get enough of her. She's my hero, you know. And then there's also my best friend Chloe. She keeps me grounded for sure. Like I'll come to her with the most mundane problems and she'll be like, "You're not stupid for thinking that way. You just have feelings and they're okay."
Oh, that's sweet, man. That's so. It seems like it's the people around you as well. So you can always learn and grow from the people around you more because they're there.
So, yeah, absolutely. I can't thank them enough, to be honest. Like I've been in some pretty dark places in the past couple of years, and they've just done so much for me that I can't really thank them enough, man.
Oh, and do you find that then coming out of sort of the darker holes, like the way that modelling is that something that is a joy, almost like something that you can share with the world, almost like like a butterfly out of a cocoon?
Pretty similar, to be honest. I mean, I started working from before I got out of high school as a waitress for a company named, actually, maybe I shouldn't name them, for a cafe restaurant in my hometown, and like they're absolutely great to a level, but they weren't like, it's like working for a corporation. Like they don't really care about you as an individual. Whereas like what I'm doing now, which actually is only possible because I got laid off from COVID. So that's why why I've had the time to be able to get into something that I've actually wanted to do, because like what else do I have to lose?
That's cool.
Like,
so taking the opportunity while it's there.
Yeah, well, my sister and I have been calling it profiting off the plague. Which is kind of bad, but it's kind of like a positive way of looking at a really negative kind of thing, I suppose, you know.
Yeah, I mean, people that I've been speaking with, I've been asking them, and I'll ask you, do you feel it's pause or do you feel it's reset at this moment in time?
It's definitely a reset. I think it's definitely a reset. I mean, I'm sleeping better than I have in years. I got diagnosed with chronic insomnia when I was like 15 or something like that, and I have just never slept right. I'd be up from like 4 o'clock in the morning and then sleep till like 9 a.m, maybe go to school. I was terrible in school, and then like they were like, "You're gonna have to work out how to get up in the morning someday because you're not gonna make it anywhere in life." And then I started working nights. Made it work for me, and then kind of overworked myself with 2 to 3 jobs at a time, and then just having this time to just go from zero and kind of go from like the little steps of what I want to do and how I want to be as a person have definitely made it so much easier to just become more of a person.
And then that's had great repercussions on the stuff like the sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I'm eating better, I'm sleeping better, I exercise more these days. I've really struggled with weight for a lot of my life, and it's really probably been a lot to do with sleep and how I couldn't get through it. So you eat better, you sleep better, you do better, you do more, you know. So like I started eating more, I started exercising more, and I sleep better now, and it's just fantastic, you know.
Do you think that these qualities are for the upkeep? Do you think when everything sort of resurfaces, do you feel that you'll still be able to benefit from it?
That's definitely a time will tell kind of a thing. Like I can definitely see myself falling back into different habits as well, but I've also definitely gained a respect for getting the right amount of sleep, because I always thought that I was one of those people that was like, oh, I don't need any sleep, I'll go 24 to 48 hours with no sleep and it doesn't make a difference. And now I'm like, 8 hours sounds so nice. I
I was
Yeah.
sorry. Go on.
No, you're right.
No,
Kind of.
I was speaking with a friend earlier about that, and we were saying he was saying that he feels that people may go back into previous habits, but it said that it takes 30 days for new habits to become the new sort of routine. So you never know. Now that you've had time and you've instilled it, it should be able to look into adapt. This is your base camp, and then it's like everything's built from there.
Well, I definitely hope to grow from this experience. I hope to grow from every experience. It's definitely hard to tell whether or not it will stick. I think some things definitely will. Like at the start of the year, I became straight edge, so I gave up smoking, I gave up drinking, and everything else that comes with that. And then I definitely found like a big difference with that as well. So it kind of small things affect your life in ways that you don't really realize until you give them up or start something new.
Yeah, and it offers a fresher perspective as well when you're able to do that. So
Yeah, like I miss partying. I definitely miss partying. I miss friends and people and seeing them and stuff. But like having the time to be away from things and just settle and work on yourself is such an amazing opportunity in itself.
uh, it's proper wisdom that's coming out. Like, do you find yourself, are you like into your spirituality?
I wouldn't consider myself a very spiritual person, only because I'm not religious in any way. Oh, well, okay, I consider myself agnostic. I don't not believe that there's anything out there. I just think that I don't have a right to judge if there is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I think that whatever energy you put out there is what you should get back in as well. Like it's definitely like there's something. There's something. I just don't know what.
No, what you're saying, I mean, so for me, the two are different, spirituality and religion. And I think it's about energies. It's about what you're putting in, and it's all about the frequencies and that connection of, yeah, just being in
Absolutely.
tune with something that is bigger, but is still us.
Yeah, I think I've definitely like experienced that itself. Like I'll meet some people and I'll be like, oh, we're just not on the same wavelength. And like I'm not even sure what I'm talking about, but it's more about what you feel, not what you like what you know.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose, and thank you again, because I know it's 11:30 over there, isn't it? Talking about your 8 hours sleep, you'll be needing to whip the hair soon. You'll be needing to sleep soon. But
I can make the exception for now.
thank you. No, well, look, just the final ones from me then is like, what do you see the rest of 2020 holding for you? I know it's difficult to sort of say with COVID and stuff, but how do you see it playing out? What would be the
Man, big.
dream scenario? What would be you with your energy drawing in with the frequency? What would you like to manifest?
I would love to get back into education, to be honest. If I could, because I straight out of high school started working, didn't do any kind of formal tertiary education or anything like that. I would love to get back into that. See if I can get something to do with geography, which I really loved, or maybe even art, because this time throughout the COVID thing, I've been painting and drawing, and it's all that I wanted to do as a kid. And like having the opportunity to just do what you think you might be good at has been so exciting. And I really hope that I can just continue in the direction that I'm going and that I get to go to finals for Miss Worlds, even maybe if it's online.
Yeah, would you have to
And
do it by Zoom?
I think it well maybe. I really don't know. I think they might even just hold it off
Yeah.
until that we can have people in a room, because it's definitely like you have to see the people in real life for it to be an accurate kind of a judgment. But yeah, so I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going anyway.
Well, you've got support this side of the world as well. So keep
Thank
doing
you
what you're
so
doing.
much.
Keep spreading that light and shining. And good luck to you with the Miss World Queensland Australia side of it. And also, yeah, just in everything with your career and keep that like outlook. Honestly, you've got a good grounded outlook, man. That'll get you far.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad that you reached out to me.
Now,
Have a
100%. 100%.
have a fan. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic time in your series too. I can't wait to hear more from others.
Bless you. You take care, and peace to everyone who's been listening, and shout out to your sister as well for looking after you.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Bye. There you are, Kylie Weldon. all the way over in Brisbane, Australia. That was a right cool chat. Thank you for everybody who's been in the group, contributing, commenting. If you're new to this, I'm Ben Random. This is Loose Lips, and what we do is speak to people all across the globe, all different walks of life, looking to get their life story to instill optimism and uplift the spirits of those that come into contact with these shows. Or now podcast as well. We're now on Spotify and Apple Music. Yeah, we are. So yeah, we're going to be back at 4 with Waff. The man is a madman. So that is going to be a sick chat. So definitely get stuck in that. Back on my page, hour and 25 minutes. Come join me with Waff. Peace and light to you and yours. Bye.